College basketball. Ain't it something?
It is.
K-State lost to Bowling Green on Monday. And then last night, Missouri loses at Notre Dame and Kansas loses at home to UConn. So we're firing away on all cylinders right now.
Well,
you went to the game.
I did.
At Allen Fieldhouse, so tell us all about that. Don't let me sit here and bitch and complain about Mizzou games that seem to end in a very familiar way.
Yeah, well, look, first things first, it was a great atmosphere last night. And I'm glad to see games like this come back to the college campuses because for the longest time,
it should be the neutral site.
It seems like, yeah, it's
New York, Chicago,
that's
someplace.
what we need. Yeah, someplace in a half-empty gym with no atmosphere.
That's big city basketball, baby.
Yeah, let's get it in some convention center somewhere.
I heard you tell Jake you liked it back on campus, so figured I'd push back on that.
I appreciate you pushing back.
So you're all pissed off that Missouri and Kansas are playing it.
That's a little bit of a special. That's a little bit of a special.
You.
Yes, no,
I'm not. On campus?
I look. I wouldn't even play the game personally.
You won it on campus?
What are we doing? We're doing one at each campus and one neutral site? That seems like a
about
good
anything else,
compromise
but Sunday,
to me.
Are you mad that it's at a neutral site?
No, because that's different.
How is it different?
Because it's a rivalry game in a site between both places. So
because it's a border war on the border.
There you go. Just like the bragging rights game, and St. Louis seems like a good place for that game. Isn't that what it's called? The bragging rights?
Yeah.
Like put that in a neutral site in the middle of the two, I'm fine with that. But Kansas, UConn, there's not like a neutral site where, that's going to have a great atmosphere.
Right.
I'd rather see that in Connecticut or in Kansas.
And that's what you saw last night.
That's what I saw last night. It was amazing. The place was jumping. I don't make it to Allen Fieldhouse as often as I used to, so it was one of those things where sitting there and taking in the atmosphere, it reminded me of what a special place Allen Fieldhouse is, and it's great to have games like that. And boy, Dan Hurley knows how to get people wound up. He is. I respect the hell out of him. He is a Jersey dude. I mean, he was talking trash to the fans. Behind him, he was into the game. Every call, he was on the refs. And his team, takes on that same personality as him. That was a hard-fought game. It was not like a great offensive game. Both teams played really, really hard defensively. Kansas outplayed them in the first half, and should have had a much bigger lead than a 4-point lead, but they just don't shoot very well. I mean, Kansas, you look at the numbers, and neither side shot it well from three. UConn was 7 for 26, and KU was 8 for 15, so both were below 30%. But the threes that KU were missing in the first half were like wide open. You're squared up to the basket, you're catching it in rhythm, and it's a brick. And it's one thing to miss a shot like that. It's another thing to miss a guarded pull-up three off the dribble or something. These weren't the kind of threes they were missing. They're just wide open, in rhythm, good chance to score, and they just don't. And so the 4-point lead evaporated quickly when they weren't hitting shots in the second half. And it's a concern. That's the biggest concern I have for this KU team is just that they don't shoot very well. And in today's basketball, if you can't shoot threes consistently, your margin for error on everything else just goes so far down. I mean, because they get beat badly on the offensive glass in the second half, and you can't give up second chances if you're only scoring twos and you're never scoring threes. Your margin for error gets so much smaller. So the fact that they got out rebounded in the second half really hurt them. The fact that they just, they struggled for offense in the second half. And this is all stuff, I mean, I listened to Bill Self's post game on the drive home with Greg Gurley, and he hinted a couple times that they hope to have Peterson back for this game against Missouri over the weekend. They need him. I mean, they've come a long way without him. I think it's been really good for them to learn how to play without him, and some guys have stepped up. I love the way this team plays hard.
Are Kansas fans mad about this?
About the Peterson thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just don't know what's going. Like you're like, what's going on here? You know, and I think there is a fear probably from Kansas fans that this becomes like a thing that, you know, that lingers all season. You're wondering like, okay, every game, it's like, okay, we think we're gonna have him back. Oh, no, he's not quite ready. You know, but I think you just we just wait and see if and when he comes back, because he would be a big answer to a lot of their offensive problems for sure. I hope when he comes back, if and when he comes back, it doesn't become a thing where everybody else just kind of stands around and watches him play. I hope they all kind of feel like they're in the flow of the offense now and part of the team. But yeah, it's been a weird deal. Self said afterwards he did a full workout yesterday and didn't have any setbacks or anything, so they're going to try to give it a go this weekend. So hopefully it's not anything weird. Hopefully it's just they're being super cautious. They want to make sure that it doesn't become a recurring hamstring situation for the whole year, and they're going to get it sorted out now and let the rest of the team gain some experience.
What do you mean weird?
Well, somebody said, I saw, like, I can't remember, a buddy of mine texted or something like, I'm having weird Eric Berry vibes. You know, like, remember when Eric Berry was like a week for, like, his day-to-day for the whole year? That was a completely different injury than this. It's just I think that's what people are worried about.
There's a lot of people that are like messages boards and all this. People are speculating that he's not really hurt.
That he just doesn't want to play because he.
Well, I don't. There's a lot of stuff out there, and I don't want to enhance it, but I think because it's lasted so long and it's a hamstring, and people start talking and thinking and.
Well, you've had things like Joel Embiid happen where there's like this kind of vague thing about the injury, and then you wonder, okay, are they just making sure they're not injured for the next step in their career, things
Right.
like that. I think people are all speculating
Load
on
management stuff.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I,
There's a lot of rumors out there.
and I don't, yeah, like you said, you don't want to give too much voice to that because they're rumors. I mean,
exactly. Yeah. There's no validity whatsoever to it, but
Yeah.
it's just fans being fans, right?
you want to see him play. And then, you know, things like this, like where it seemed like for a while there were reports out there that he was going to play against UConn, and then he doesn't. Each game, it's kind of like, okay, is he going to play this time?
I think
and
people
then,
just want to put it all behind, move forward, get him on the court, and start getting this. I mean, because this team could be a very good team with him on it.
I think they seem like if UConn's a top 5 team, you would certainly feel like KU can beat just about anybody in the country if they had
it
him.
seems like they're missing just that one piece.
Yeah.
And he seems to be that piece.
Especially if he's really the best player in the country.
Right.
and he looked like it in the glimpses that
down 3 with
him.
20 seconds left. You think, okay, you have an option, and because that's what we saw last night, and it's like, okay, he didn't really feel very good at that last opportunity.
Yeah,
there.
the people I was sitting with were like, I don't know if I want the ball in his hands. I'm like, well, whose hands did you want it in?
Right
now.
So
There's no question if Peterson's on the court, who that is. So, yeah, we'll see. But, to go back to the team for a second,
they're fun, man.
I feel like this KU basketball was not very fun to watch last couple years, especially last year's team as the season went on. I didn't think their style of play was particularly fun to watch, but also just like the dynamic of the team. It didn't seem like a team that was committed. It didn't seem like a team that, like, all the characteristics of the things you've come to know about a Bill Self team over the decades of playing incredibly hard, being tough, being collectively bought in, nobody concerned about who's scoring the most points or anything like that. Like, it didn't seem like any of that existed last year. And this year's team, with a new group of guys, they play hard.
There's evidence in every game so far of that.
Yeah,
that scramble, where they end up calling the foul on Flory, but,
everybody's diving on the floor.
You had 4 guys on the floor.
Yeah.
Going for a loose ball.
Yeah,
So,
and nobody seems to really care which guy's getting the offense. They're playing together. They seem to support each other. They're fun. They're more fun to watch. They're frustrating because they miss so many open threes.
Bad shooting.
But
you can't knock them on the effort. And,
No.
and on the defensive end, they played really hard defense.
they didn't rebound well enough in the
No.
second half. But
They shot poorly in the second half.
yeah.
Too.
But I feel like most KU fans I talk to enjoy this team right now, in terms of just watching them. Watching the way they play, watching their commitment level. And I think most KU fans feel like if Peterson comes back and is healthy, this team could really have a good year, and compete in the Big 12. So, and that's one of the things they've shown without Peterson here over the last few games, that they can go toe-to-toe with good teams and still be in the game and then win some of them. But if they want to have a special season, I think it's pretty clear they need him.
You going to the game Sunday?
I don't have tickets right now, so,
I didn't ask that. When do you ever have tickets to anything?
I don't ever. So
Right.
I appreciate you putting it out
You
there.
ask and you can get them. So are you going to try to go Sunday?
I put some feelers out. Yeah, I put some feelers out. I would like to.
Oh, would you? It surprises me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to go. It'd be fun. We've already discussed this.
I'm surprised you're going to go, or you want to go. You should go.
Are you going?
No. Nope.
Why not?
Because I don't want to. How about that?
I'm getting tickets.
Okay.
Are you laughing?
Because I don't want
I
to.
don't want
Okay,
to.
clear enough.
You're working that night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Sunday night.
Yeah.
That's a long day.
Yeah, I could if I wanted to, but yes, I could pull it off doing the doubleheader. But
Monday would be brutal
right,
on you.
and I'm not like I have to be at Arrowhead, and I have to be there
Late.
well early, and because I'm not get me all pissy about parking. But on the primetime shows, then all the TV anchors show up that don't go to the other games and take up 5 parking spots. It's just media parking becomes scarce. Everything. It's just
Yeah.
The locker room is filled with people that normally aren't there. It makes my life.
Yeah.
Hey, who cares? But it's just little things that are irritants.
Yeah.
And so I got to get there a little earlier, which is fine. As long as I get there early, I'm good. But like last primetime game, I was running late, and it took me like an hour to get a parking spot. And the curse words that were coming out of my mouth, you should have heard. It was great. My dad would have been proud of me. And so it's just I could do it, but I'm trying to. And plus, I don't want to be gone from my family the entire, because I wouldn't see him at all on Sunday.
It's a long day going to an NFL game, let alone going to that and something else. I get that.
And between now, Phil working, Susan at work at school, and the girls and everything else, I get to I don't want to skip out on a day where at least we can watch the game together, or go eat breakfast and watch the game, and then I can head off to work. And so I shouldn't have said I don't want to. I'd like to go, but it's just not super feasible for me. Because then on Monday, I would be, as Jake calls, dragging that Mexican ass.
And guess who has to lift that ass?
Yeah, I'd be, because in the past, I've done it. I could have done it, but I would like to. I'll sit and I'll watch it, and I'd like to pay attention to it, and it's more difficult like that when you're live. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to try to pace myself, and I've got a busy week the next week, and so I want to. It's a marathon.
Yeah.
Not a sprint, baby.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if I had my choice, if I was going to pick one game or the other, I'd rather go to the Chiefs-Texans game.
Like,
and
if
that's
it was
a massive
yeah,
game.
if it was Saturday, I'd go.
Yeah.
I'd go if I had a chance to split it up.
Chiefs are on the road.
But we're going to talk to our friends Wes Wilson and Sophie Cunningham on Friday, Jake. They're both going to call in. I finally got that nailed down yesterday. They're going to try to get them in, but flights and everything else. You know what, Jake? These flights, you should know this. There's a lot of turmoil going on with flights and everything else, and getting places on time. But they're doing their podcast live on at No Other Pub on Saturday, and so.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know if have you caught wind of their podcast?
No.
Well, we're fans of West. West has been a regular, would come on the show several times over the past couple of years. Was with us at New Day at the K, remember? When we were watching baseball in 100-degree weather. It was awesome. And so he's going to call in, Sophie's going to call in, and then we're going to go see them having a welcome home, doing their podcast live on Saturday. So got that, got Bloomapalooza, and that's the other thing, Bloomapalooza Friday, going to check out that podcast on Saturday, and then Sunday, let's all watch it. And also a little, if Missouri was rolling in the top 10 and I felt really great about their chances, maybe I'd say screw my physical well-being. Let me. But after watching last night, that was the final deciding factor. Because it seems like I watch a lot of games like that Missouri, in the final minute of a close game, looks absolutely poorly coached, and they make the same mistakes repeatedly, and it gets frustrating. I have some quotes that I will read to you post-game from PowerMizzou.com.
Oh.
And I can tell you, and I think it's a good example of how it's frustrating to watch Mizzou basketball sometimes. And also, and this is just me on my soapbox, who am I to tell anyone how they should schedule their basketball team? But this schedule that Missouri's played has been god awful, and it's been really difficult to get into it because there are games I don't want to watch. I'm a Mizzou fan, but boy, Jake has so much trouble with this whiteboard. He's lost this. This whiteboard has beat the hell out of him this week. It seems like every day I look over there, and this guy can't even put it on the ledge. He drops it. He shakes his head. I almost fell back there.
I could hear something happening, and it sounded like
that's such a
like
struggle for him every day.
Struggling in a box.
Of
or
all his
like
duties, he has many duties with his job. That's his toughest duty right there. He can't get that
it's
thing.
When we're streaming, because I got the streaming laptop.
Yesterday, it almost fell down there, and he's like,
"Oh yeah."
Right? I wasn't going to say anything about giggling, but I'm watching.
You see me catch it right before it.
I go, he's going to get it. Like, nope.
There's a crack behind the desk. And there's probably about 6 whiteboards back there.
Yeah. He's lost whiteboards.
Is it not like you couldn't put it over here on the other side where the laptop
I could, but
is?
then like for the streaming purposes, you just be.
We're streaming right now.
We are.
Are we always streaming or not always?
First hour.
First hour.
Just the first hour.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is when I need to make sure I'm on my best behavior.
Not really.
Not really. I mean,
but I just like every day this week he's not been able to have a clean transition there back there. Yeah. He gets mad, and I'm like, today, let's see if he gets it. Let's see. Nope. And he's like, every time it's like this.
Son of a.
So yeah, tomorrow.
For those that are listening, they're talking about this. It's a dry erase board that Jake puts down the sponsor read that Steven's going to do in the next segment.
So it says Joe's KC. So I know when I go to commercial break, I'm going to tell you about Joe's Kansas City Barbecue.
Yeah. I could tell you guys in your ear, and I usually do, but then it's like,
No, I like that. That's better.
No one pays attention to what I say.
Well, I hear it, but then I start thinking.
And you're in the middle of a thought.
I'm all
talking
over the
about,
place.
Tickling tonsils.
Anyway, this is difficult.
You just can't focus.
Do you understand how I could say it's difficult to get fired up for these games?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the schedule so far. At Howard, Southeast Missouri, VMI. I watched the Minnesota game. That's good. Prairie View, South Dakota, South Carolina State, Cleveland State. that's one game that's been worth giving up 2 hours.
And even that, like, you're not like, oh, Minnesota.
Right.
It's not like you don't think of them as a traditional basketball power or anything. So it's a you know them. They're a Big Ten school, but
Right.
it's not one that you're like, oh,
See what
let's
I'm saying,
circle that
though?
on
It's just
calendar.
like-
yeah. I get it.
There's we always hear about there's a lot of competition for your entertainment dollar, a lot of competition for my viewing eyes. Mm-hmm. All right? You're talking about, NFL, college football, all the things that I like to watch, all the things that I like to do. And so sometimes you got to carve out time to watch a game. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to carve out time to watch Missouri against Prairie View. And so I get it. Whatever coaches do, they think it's in the best interest of their basketball team.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, that's not in the best interest of a college basketball fan. Like they're going to win the game. It's not really going to be competitive. I guess the SEMO game was competitive. But, it's like, give us something. Give me something. Now I got something last night. I didn't like it, but I watched it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I may not like what I get on Sunday, but I'm going to watch it. It's worth my time to watch. And so I pardon me for being just a little irritated by the schedule that they put together, which is, I think only one other D1 team has a weaker strength of schedule than Missouri going into last night.
Look, and like you said, every coach is trying to accomplish something different with their non-conference schedule. And basketball is different than football. I was actually thinking about this in football. If KU had scheduled a mid-major team instead of Missouri in non-con, they'd be playing in a bowl game.
Right. But football is
that's
different,
different.
too, because
That's
it's
what I'm
once
saying.
a week.
Yeah.
And it's special.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's,
you
you only
circle it on the calendar.
have so few times to see your football team. And it's every win is meaningful. Yeah. That means something.
Yeah.
And
then there's a huge tangible difference there. To me, like the definition of Kansas going to a bowl game or not going to a bowl game is kind of the deciding factor as to whether or not we perceive the season as a success.
Right.
And you can sit there and say, well, it's something they went to some meaningless bowl game that nobody cares about. But like if you're KU, that's a big deal. And that non-con scheduling makes a difference. Now, in college basketball, like for KU, they've already lost 3 games, and it's like, who cares? As long as they're getting better because of it. Like if KU is a better team at the end of the season because of the game they just played last night, then I don't care that they lost.
Your 3 losses do not have you eliminated from the college basketball playoffs.
Not even from having a good seed. You know what I mean? Like if they go out and they win the Big 12, they're going to have a great seed.
You've had they lost games, but you've had a chance to watch compelling basketball and perhaps basketball that those losses could make them better.
Yeah.
And they could gain something from them.
Now, some teams feel like, hey, we're so young and we haven't been winning. We need to win some games.
Yeah, we need to build chemistry.
Confidence. Yeah.
We've got,
But it's hard to say,
get
like,
it.
how much are you really building if you're not playing anybody?
Look, I'm not outraged or anything. I'm just telling you it's like hard to get up for these games. Like,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I get that.
I'd like to go to a non-con game, but I'm sorry, I'm not driving to Columbia to watch Prairie View.
Right. I get that.
That's a steep investment of time, and I don't want to. So
I get it.
It's hard for me to do that for but I do it for football because I love football so much, and it's football. Mm-hmm. And you don't get that many opportunities, and it's the weekend and everything else. It's hard to roll down on a Tuesday night at 7, whatever it is.
I mean, just going to Lawrence last night. It's 8 o'clock tip off. It's a late night.
You were probably all buzzed up by 9:30 or so.
No,
I know where you were.
not these days.
No, you were with the beautiful people. And
I was.
I heard you were acting a fool. Is what somebody said.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Acting a fool.
Yeah.
I was.
Gurley said he had his eyes on you.
Yeah, he was right across the court from
He
me.
saw you a couple times.
I was trying to,
Did you try to distract him?
I was trying to be on my best behavior because, learn lessons from.
Yeah, but you can still go out there and have fun.
Oh, I had a good time. I had a great
You
time.
don't need to taunt anybody. You
I
can
didn't
just,
taunt anybody.
You kept the stat sheets out of your
I
hands.
didn't have any stat sheets. I kept papers out of my hands. I kept my hands in my pockets.
There you
Did
go.
you have fun?
I had a great time, and we could
so
hear
fun.
Hurley, man, first of all, by the way, the student section was chanting F Dan Hurley loudly multiple times, and Bill Self finally told the student section to knock it off. Hurley was, I remember one time Badunga missed a free throw, and Hurley just turns to the people in the crowd right when he just goes, Brick City. Wow. Yeah. And these KU fans started yelling at him, and he's like, real classy, guys, real classy.
How much, but think about this. Just think,
the whole exchange was pretty
how much,
how classy is it to tell the fans?
I know, right,
the whole thing was great. I loved it.
All that said, how much would you love him if he was your coach?
Oh, I'd love him.
Yeah.
Love him.
This guy.
No,
I like this guy.
He's what we need. It made me I was thinking, man, this was back in the days when
Johnny Orr, Norm Stewart,
sit down, Norm,
yeah,
sit down, Norm. KU fans loved
characters.
Yes,
Characters.
And
personality.
And I was like, you know what? That's why his team can also come into a building like this, be down at halftime, and go on a run in the second half and make all the plays they need to because they got his personality. He was loving it. He was loving hearing it from the crowd.
He's a villain.
Oh, he loves it. Yeah.
And he you know what? I think with a guy like that, he takes some of the pressure off of his team.
Everybody's looking over at him.
Put it all on me. I'm the guy you boo. You know, bring it on to me.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's something to that.
Yeah. I mean, they were going on a run in the second half, and he just kind of turns, and you could tell he wasn't looking at anybody in particular, but he was kind of looking into the stands, and he just is going, F yeah, and pumping his fists he's very New Jersey bro-y, you know? and like you said, great, as a KU fan, you're sitting there going, I don't want to lose to this son of a, you know, we're going to lose. We're going to let him walk out of here, gloating. But like you said, if he was your coach,
right,
you're like, this is my guy.
But that act wouldn't play if he's going to the NIT.
Right.
You got a couple of championships under his belt. They're in the top 10.
Yeah.
They're winning at Allen Fieldhouse. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right? They lose by 20 last night, and they're not, they're hovering around 500. That's not, it doesn't hit quite the same.
Dude, and I mean, he is on the refs every call. Every call.
I wish he would have been on the refs in the Mizzou Notre Dame game because those officials, again, hey, complaining about the officials is the ballad for the loser. Let me sing. The officials sucked. The officials sucked. I'll sing I'm a big loser. The officials were terrible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The thing that I loved about Hurley was even when that loose ball foul you were talking about, Jake, there was 5 potential fouls there because everybody's diving after loose ball and they end up calling it on KU. And all the fans are going crazy, and Hurley's still yelling at the ref, even though the call went his way, because he's like, should have been an elbow. It's an elbow. He should be a technical. Even when he gets the call, he's yelling at the ref. It was something to behold. Watching his antics on the court. He's a character. We need more of that in college basketball.
Animated dude.
Yeah.
UConn wins 61-56 over KU. We'll talk more about the Missouri loss to Notre Dame. We've got Mike DeCourcy, who could talk about all the college basketball. Lots of stuff coming up for you right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. What's up, Kansas City? Steven St. John here for Joe's Kansas City Barbecue. You can give the gift of competition barbecue this holiday season with Joe's KC shipped barbecue boxes. Shipped, Jake. Joe's ships. See, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to mess up sometime, but not now. Joe's ships coast to coast and can have it delivered to most locations in 2 days. Build your own barbecue gift box or select from one of their pre-made boxes that includes all your favorites, like ribs, burn ends, and, of course, the famous Z-Man. Joe's shipped barbecue kits are perfect for clients, customers, and if you have those hard-to-shop-for family members and friends, this would be great. Order today at joeskc.com or have one of their elves, their barbecue elves, help place your order at 844 Joe's BBQ. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. So, yeah. I'm going to keep looking at this play for a while here. Yep. I don't get it. Okay. Sometimes you want to rewatch something to make sure your eyes aren't betraying you. So I go to powermizzou.com because there's nobody close that covers Mizzou the way they do, and Gabe DeArmond and his great staff. So Mizzou lost to Notre Dame. They had a double-digit lead at one point, but man, they played sloppy basketball. They lose 76-71. And here's the most frustrating part, besides some of the calls from the officiating and some of the non-calls. Under 30 seconds left. The score was tied at 69. Yeah. So that was a special moment. Mm-hmm. And so I want you to listen to how Dennis Gates and players describe what happened at the end of the game versus Gabe DeArmond, who I think is a good representation of how Mizzou fans watching the game felt. Okay? This, again, was a tie game with 30 seconds left. And I'll just read to you what exactly how it played out. Mizzou had guard and leading scorer Marcus Burton trapped in the right corner. Mizzou guard T.O. Barrett came close to forcing a jump ball. And then Notre Dame coach Micah Shrewsbury called a timeout, resetting the possession. Shot clock ticked down to under 10 seconds. Burton began a drive down the right side of the court with Ant Robinson defending him. And so then Jacob Cruz drifts from the left wing to double Burton and leaves Notre Dame sophomore guard Cole Serta wide open several feet beyond the arc. Burton swings the ball to Serta, and if you've watched enough Mizzou games, you know what happens next. Right? They leave a shooter wide open with the game on the line, and he knocks down the three. Center Sean Phillips flew in from the baseline to do his best to get a hand up on the shot, but the rotation came too late. Serta drills the triple to give Notre Dame the 3-point lead. Then Mizzou comes down. They have a timeout. They don't call the timeout. Jacob Cruz takes a three, which I don't have a big problem. That's probably the guy, wanted to take the shot. So he was, 5 of 10 for three last night. He's been really, really good, a greatly improved player this year. So I didn't have a problem with him taking the shot. But Dennis Gates did not want to take a timeout. We can always debate that. But this is what Gates said. That last shot is a coach's rotation shot. I'll live with it any day of the week. I didn't want Burton to have the basketball because he turned the corner and he gave the same type of shot earlier in the game. So at the end of the day, Serta was beyond the NBA range on the three-point shot with Phillips contesting. I thought we did a good job scouting report-wise, making someone else beat us and beating us from a length away from the basket. So Gates is saying he's happy with what they did. They got the ball out of their go-to guy's hands. He doesn't have a problem with it, and forced a shooter to make an NBA-length three. Jacob Cruz, who left him to go try to get the ball out of Burton's hands, says, I think we did a great job executing what the coaches asked. I know we wanted Burton not to have the ball. He's a great player, averages 20. Everyone in the gym probably figured he was going to take the shot. So sending a double, it worked last time. You get a defensive stop. But yeah, they made a great shot. Credit the dude that shot it. That was big time over a 7-footer. And so Gabe DeArmond's reaction to what happened Notre Dame had the ball with 17 to shoot. You know Burton was going to have the ball. As they left the huddle, I thought, don't help off the shooters. And that's been an issue in the past in close games or end-of-game situations for Missouri. That's the way Dennis Gates coaches it, apparently. Don't help off the shooters. They didn't exactly help off them, but they gave Serta room. Serta is the same guy that hit the corner three to tie the game when Mark Mitchell helped off him a couple of possessions before. The TV crew even said he's known as the shooter. Missouri didn't recognize it somehow, and it beat them. And so you're watching the game, and the TV crew is identifying he's the shooter. You don't want to leave him. People watching it, don't leave a wide open 3-point shooter. And I get it. You want to try to keep from the guy beating you, but Phillips was later in the rotation, give a wide open three, nails it, and then ultimately wins the game. And Gates afterwards, did exactly what we were supposed to do. Loved it. I'll take that any day. Jacob Cruz on a play where that they gave up an open three and lost the game. I think we did a great job of executing what Dennis Gates wanted us to do. Gabe DeArmond and people watching the game, how do you leave him open? The guy that I identified as the shooter that hit a big corner three a couple of possessions ago to tie the game. And there's just like this disconnect when you watch, and then you hear Dennis Gates afterwards say, "Oh no, hey, it's just what I wanted to happen." He hit the shot. Credit him. He hit an NBA three. I don't know. That's an interesting difference of perspective there.
Well, I wonder. I don't know. I mean, thinking this is just a guess on my part, but thinking about the schedule, as you said. If he thinks confidence is something that the team needs.
And also Burton shuffled his feet and traveled before he passed the ball, but they didn't call it.
Man, I don't even know what traveling is anymore in college athletics.
But they didn't call it.
I don't. Hurley was calling for a travel every other play last night. And then there are times I feel like guys travel all the time in college basketball. They don't call it now. And then they call travels, and I'm like, that didn't even – I don't know. I don't know what a travel is anymore. I really don't. But I wonder, I don't know, is Gates not wanting to criticize his players? So he's trying to protect them in that situation? I don't know. Sometimes coaches don't want to criticize their players publicly.
You've seen that a lot, though.
Yeah.
That particular thing where Missouri has a knack for leaving shooters wide open in crucial situations.
Well, that's a bad trend.
And it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Now, you haven't seen it much this year because they don't play anybody. They haven't played anybody, but,
Well, that might not be a problem for them against KU because they don't really have a lethal shooter right now, unless Peterson comes back.
Oh, he'll be back. Oh, come on now. Of course he's going to play against Missouri.
Well, I hope so.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Been saving him for the Tigers.
The headlines right now. Mm-hmm. Peterson returns with 33.
That sounds great.
Yeah, doesn't it? We'll take a break. Back after this on WHB. Missouri, your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is live. Now you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more. All from your phone, all safe, secure, and easy to use. Missouri fans know game day, the tailgates, the noise, the passion. Now, with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, every win. And right now, new Missouri customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 810WHB. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. For over 29 years, Cars for Heroes awards hundreds of donated vehicles to those in need. For some, it's an accessible van that allows them to take a family member who uses a wheelchair out for the first time in years. And for others, it's just a simple car that can get them to work and doctor's appointments. If you know someone in need, you can apply or you can help by going to our website at cars4heroes.org. Cars for Heroes, proudly supported by Shamrock Roofing and Construction.
When it comes to medical laundry, clean isn't just important, it's everything. That's why Kansas City hospitals, surgery centers, and clinics trust Walker Medical Linen Service. Family owned and proudly based right here in Kansas City, Walker delivers HLAC certified medical laundry, meeting the highest standards for safety and sanitation. From scrubs and lab coats to sheets and patient gowns, every piece is professionally cleaned, sanitized, and delivered with care. For true Kansas City service you can trust, choose Walker Medical Linen Service. Visit walkermls.com. That's walkermls.com.
Calling all holiday bakers, it's time to roll out to Hy-Vee and save some dough this Friday through Sunday. Get the season's hottest deals on dozens of baking essentials like Hy-Vee brand flour, $1.48, cream cheese, $1.28, Hy-Vee brand
What's up, Kansas City? Stephen St. John here for WeatherTech Renovations. You know, the bad weather's here, and when these big storms hit and maybe hail and all the bad weather that Kansas City has to endure, you need to make sure your roof is ready for the winter and ready for all the bad winter, all the bad storms and all the bad weather. You never know what Mother Nature brings next. And when you need your roof checked, trust a local reputable company. That's Brian Donegan and WeatherTech Renovations. If you have a legitimate insurance claim, they'll advocate for you. If not, they'll give you honest advice and help you find the best solution, saving you time, money, and the headache of a bad claim. They've done work on my son's roof. They've done work on Nate Bukaty's roof. They did work on Todd Lebo's dad's roof. They've worked on my roof, and they can work on your roof too. Protect your home before the next storm. Go to WTRenovations.com. That's WTRenovations.com. And when you talk to someone from WeatherTech Renovations, tell them SSJ sent you.
New Day with SSJ is brought to you by Walker Medical Linen Service. Locally owned, HLAC certified,